Hi there. Hi, my name is Evita, and I want to welcome you to this training session on time. I'm so excited to talk about this subject because this is something that we as a society have somehow given up our control. We're just like, yeah, I am not in control of my time. And that is something I want to overrule. Yes, I want to overrule that. I mean, we totally have the control over how we want to spend our time on. We're just not using that control a lot of times, but we have that control. We have that option available to us. So stay with me throughout this presentation, training, seminar, whatever you want to call it, and you will see how to do that. So let's start by me sharing the presentation, which is already on the slide number 3. But let's start with slide number 1. So the topic is 5 myths about time that are holding you back. What are we going to cover today? Let's go on to that. We're going to talk about those 5 myths that we all believe. We're going to talking about how are they holding you back? How can you feel in charge of your time? And how can coaching help? Then we're going to finish on something extra nice. No, I'm joking. It's always nice. Nothing is extra nice. Everything is really good. We're going to finish on how I can help you if you want to change your mindset on what's going on with your time. So let's start then. Let's dive into the topic. I mean, seriously, what's there to wait? I mean, there are myths about time and we're going to just work through them. First, let's maybe start with telling who I am, because you're here watching me and you don't know who I am. My name is Evita. I'm a life coach. I became a life coach after I was on it was the burnout path. Let's just say that. And I was not liking what kind of human I was being. I was not being a nice partner. I was not being a nice mother, sister, basically any of my roles that I have listed here below. I wasn't doing them any of them well. And overall, I was hating myself, how I was showing up in my life. And I was hating my life, and there was so much desperation and hate. So at some point, I kicked myself in my butt, and I said, get your damn thing together, girl. I reached out for some help. I was lucky enough to get to know a life coach who put me on this self-development path. And through life coaching, I have learned to take responsibility for my life, for the results that I create. And I have stopped blaming others and outside situations for whatever is going on for me. And I'm living my life in the best possible way that I can live right now. And I am fully responsible for what's going on there. So if you want to look me up, there's a Facebook thing, an Instagram thing. Both of them is Coaching with Evita. Or you can send me an email, which is coachingwithevita@gmail.com. So if you have, after looking at this training, you have any questions, or you want to do a follow up, or you want to meet with me and work with me, these would be the ways to connect with me. So now that I have said who I am, let's go and start about those myths. 5 myths. 5 myths about time we all believe. Time is money. This is a famous quote. I mean, so many societies are built on this sentence. I mean, I have heard it all my life, I think. I think that I've heard it enough times to think that it's actually true. And I mean, I do appreciate that it appreciates time as a valuable thing. But if you would take a look, what is more valuable, time or money? Time is so much more valuable, because you can always create more money, but you cannot create more time. Time is not money. Time is playground for our mind. If we take care of our mindset, we have so many possibilities what we could do with our time. We have so many ways how we can use it in a way that's beneficial to us. We don't need to save it up for some later stage. we need to be honest with ourselves to explore where we are spending our time on and what we want to spend it on and what our needs are and what our wants are. If time is the most precious commodity that we have, how do we want to treat it? How do you want to live with this resource that is not really renewable and that we're not going to get more of? We can never buy more time or buy our missed time back. So maybe we want to look at our lives and just explore a little bit. What is it that we're spending our time on? Where are we investing ourselves? What is going on? Like when we're looking at our day, we have 24 hours every morning. Where do we give that time? Like, how do we show up for that time? Like, when you wake up in the morning, do you mindfully look at what's going to be happening for you? Or do you just go on autopilot? Are you living your life in a way that you're like sitting in the back in the back seat of the car, and there's no driver and there's no GPS? And then you want to go to destination, but it somehow never happens. That's how life on autopilot is. It's just, we need to be very mindful of where we spend our time on. We need to be mindful of where we want to spend it on if we want to see something created. So time is not money. Time is so much more than money, and we should treat it as such. That is myth number 1. What is myth number 2? I don't have enough time. Something similar with that would be, if only there were more hours in a day. I can't do it all. And all I can say, and I'm saying that because I was using this all the time, it's like the easiest way for not making any changes in your life. Because let's take a look at it. If we make a quick investigation on where your time goes, and I'm going to just refer to myself because I don't know what your life is, but my life was like, okay, I was always complaining that I do not have enough time. But when you realistically look at where do I spend my time on, I was binge watching a lot of series. What else was I doing? I was shopping online as well. I was definitely not paying attention to what I wanted to pay attention to. And are you doing that? Are you mindful or where your time goes? Instead of saying that I don't have enough time, do you know where you're spending your time on? Do you really know where your hours of days are going into? So if I look at my life, how I was spending it, like I was looking for all the refuge of all the things, and I was not being mindful of where it goes. And because of that, I was creating a result that I was so unhappy, and I was always in this mindset of that I don't have enough time. And until I decided that I no longer want to keep that mindset, I always showed up as a victim of my life. And I was always using this excuse that I don't have enough time for doing what I want to do. And you know what? It's just a question of saying that, damn, no, I'm going to decide what I want to spend my time on. I'm going to look at what I'm spending it on. I'm going to decide whether I want to keep spending my time on that. Like the most precious thing that I have, do I want to keep spending that on binge watching my movies? I decided no. And I really enjoyed spending my time on movies. But the sad truth of that is that I did not create anything. I did not create anything in my life except unhappiness. Or maybe, that I have watched a lot of movies, but that was not helping me in any way to create anything in my life. I was consuming and I was not creating anything. And I decided that I want to create my life. So I stopped using this excuse, I don't have enough time. And I started saying, I can choose to decide what I want to spend my time on. It's a little trick, but it's very helpful. And if you can just if you look at your life right now and you're like, I can see that. I can see how I'm just maybe I'm, instead of deciding what I want to spend my time on, I always wanted to pick up that art class, but I don't have enough time for it. Maybe you can just look at your life as it is right now and decide that maybe cleaning the house every single day is not as important as having some time for yourself. There are various scenarios how you can go about it, but you just need to be honest with yourself. I don't have enough time. is just the easiest way for not making any changes in your life. So let's go to myth number 3. I like this one. When, then? When the kids will be bigger, then I can do this again. When I will be holidays, when I will be on holidays, then I'll be able to take care of myself. Is this mindset of postponing, mindset of living in the future, mindset of like, actually not putting in the work to reach what you want to do. It's mindset of like, when the time will be right, when this. It's like excuses. Basically coming up with excuses for not doing any changes right now. And what I want to say that future is not where we're living. Now is the perfect place. We're living in the perfect place right now. We're living in the now, which is the place where we can make all the changes, where we have the power. This is the place, like now. This is where we need to do any work that we want to do. It's not in the past, though there is a place for work in there. It's not in the future, though that can be as a very useful guiding star. It can be a very useful guiding star. But the work that you need to do is now. It's not when, then. It's now. If you know what you want to, like, let's say, okay, let's go with an example. So you wanna have that yoga body. You wanna have like this. This is your goal. You wanna do it. And it can be as a reference to which you want to go. But if you're not going to do your yoga exercises now, you cannot get to that body. Or if you want to, I don't know, if you want to clean your house, if you're not doing the work now, you cannot get to the results. And it's, if, for example, when then, if you're using the when then excuse or when then mindset, if you're saying that when I'm going to be on holidays, then I can take care of myself. Will you really take care of yourself on your holidays, or you're going to be so exhausted that you will have no time to take care of yourself? Just think about it. Now is the perfect place to start any work that you need to do. Why postpone? Like, what's the point of that? Where are you going to go if you're going to postpone? To the postponement land? That's not a nice land because there's everything postponed there. So now is the perfect place. And you are already in the perfect place because you are in the now. How awesome is that? I mean, seriously, how awesome is that when you think about it? Now we are all in the now already. And now is where we can make all the changes. One step at a time, we can start making changes. So I'm going to go to myth number 4 now. I cannot control my calendar because I am not the boss. Well, I am going to tell you that I'm not the boss either. And it's true that I can understand why you're saying, why one might say that we don't have the control over the calendar at work. But let's make this into some sort of mathematical exercise, which numbers are, I don't want to mess it up, so I'm going to look at my numbers here. So we have 24 hours in one day, right? Let's say that you spend 8 hours a day at work. And that's the time where you say you have no control over. Then you have 16 left. Out of those 16, let's say 8, you sleep as it should be. It's a good night's rest and so on and so on. You still have, is it 8 hours? Do you still have 8 hours left? And those are the hours you have full control over. It is you who decides how you are spending the time on. And whether you decide consciously or not, you still decide. And by deciding what you spend your time on, you create results. You create the life that you have. If you look at your life that you have right now, all the results are because of the decisions that you have made. So when you are looking at that, I mean, look at you. If we add the weekend in, how many hours per week you have full control over. And if we are looking at the work calendar, it's just a mindset thing. Of course, you can't foresee and that mindset thing is like my advice is be in charge of your mindset. Just like, tell yourself, hell, I'm going to be deciding how I want to see this. Of course, you're not in charge of, incoming urgencies or things that are coming in, like meetings that your boss asks you to go to. But you are always able to react in a way that is serving you. You can always be the boss of the mindset or how you want to see the situation. And the rest of the hours, I mean, seriously, it's up to you to decide how you want to see this, right? I mean, there's okay, let's take this practical example of laundry. Yes, I used to hate it so much. I mean, I understand that it needs to be done, you know, clean clothes and all that. That's very nice. But I really hated doing that. I took so much time. We are a family of 4, and I you know, it just took some time. And then when I stopped blaming everything outside me and I started asking myself for solutions, when I asked myself, how could I make this fun for myself? There was an answer coming from here. That's a very smart tool to use, trust me. So right now what I'm doing, I'm like, every Sunday I'm doing laundry, and whilst I'm folding it, which I like to be folded very neatly and nicely because I like the result, how it looks, I'm making the process fun by either watching a movie or I'm listening to podcasts or to music that I enjoy, or my kids are coming in and they are helping me and we're chatting and we're giggling. So it's the mindset, you know, I'm in charge, making myself in charge of my mindset, of how I want to see my calendar, my tasks, my everything. I'm deciding how I'm going to be spending these hours. If I have every day these 24 hours that I am gifted, I am deciding how I want to spend them. I am deciding on purpose where I am going to be putting that time into. And I want to invite you to like start thinking about your mindset and like start thinking about what do you want to spend your time on. Start like challenge yourself. Look at your calendar. Look at what your days go, where your days go, and just like, well, do I want to keep doing this? Start questioning it. Start. It's always a good thing to ask yourself questions. Let's go to myth number 5 now, which is I just cannot say no to this. Oh, the answer to this is very simple. It's a 2-letter word. And oh, it's a perfectly good word to say, but we often don't say it. And why is that? Because we feel that people might judge us, or that we're not going to fit in the group, or that we're going to be missing out on something that's really cool. You know what? We're always missing something out. If you're here, you are missing out something else. But does it really matter? If you are saying no and you think people are going to be judging you, you know they will, but they will be judging you either way. And you cannot influence their thoughts about you anyway. They will be choosing to think what they want to think. So why would you be paying that much attention to what they're going to be thinking rather than looking inwards and asking what you truly need? You need to find your why. You need to ask yourself, why am I wanting to say yes when internally I'm crying no? You need to be going inside and just saying like really seriously, why do I want to have this urge to say another yes to another play date when I actually want to connect with my child? Why do I have this urge to say yes to going out for drinks after work when I actually want to go home and just go to sleep? Why do I have the urge to say yes to another project when I'm already feeling so overwhelmed of all the other things that I'm doing? Just stop and breathe and ask yourself why. It's one of the most powerful questions to ask. Why do you want to say yes so much when you internally scream no? And pausing and taking all the drama out of it and just like looking at it and looking at your needs. Like seriously, what do you need right now? And ask yourself, why am I choosing to do this? And is this really what I want to choose to do? Ask yourself and allow yourself to say no. And oh is a perfect answer to give. Trust me. So, what now? Hint, It's all about the mindset. I think that by now you have gathered that anything that the way that we're looking at our time, if we're having this mindset of out of control, or that we have no power over it, or that it's going to be somewhere in the future, we're not going to be creating results that we want to create. It is up to us to decide what we want to spend our time on. It is up to us to decide whether we're going to be enjoying that or not. It is the mindset. It's how we view things that's going to be make or break. It's going to be literally like the mindset is the thing that is going to be helping you to see the same time either joyful or dreadful. I mean, just seriously, like mind, powerful tool. And mind is always, it's always at our disposal. And you see that I'm talking about mind as a separate entity. And I want to do that because I want to show you that we as human beings, we have the possibility to take care of that mindset. It is not that we are not our thoughts. We do not have to believe everything that's in there. It also might be very wrong and very not serving us. Imagine that. Listen to what's going on in your head, all the chatter, 60,000 thoughts a day. Listen to that. Imagine that you have attached to the wrong ones. Somehow they have popped up more prominently and you have chosen to believe them about how you spend your time on. As a human being, we have the possibility to take care of our mindsets, and we have the possibility and ability to craft our minds on purpose, to decide how we want to craft our time on purpose. As a human being, we have the free will, we have the power in ourselves already there that is just waiting to be released. And all you need to do is really to listen, ask yourself questions, and to listen what answers are coming up for you. You have the possibility to question your mindset, your belief system, and to ask whether you want to keep it or you want to adapt it to something that serves you a bit better. And it's and it is up to you whether you want to keep going with this. I don't have enough time, I have no control over time, or you want to stop, pause, and decide that you want to be a different version of you. You want to step into a different mindset. When we take care of our minds, we create the life we want. It's as simple as that. When we become mindful, when we become aware, present with our mindset, we can start to see why we see certain results in our lives. If we have a mindset of negativity towards our time, we will not be able to see any positive results. I mean, right? And if we create a mindset of empowerment towards our time, that we can figure out how to use our time, we can figure out what we want to do with it, we will be figuring that out, then we will be creating a life where that is becoming true as well. And you see, taking care of our mind is just like, if I can make it similar to brushing our teeth. Maybe not the nicest image, but you'll get what I mean. It's basically, you can avoid brushing your teeth, and I mean, no one's forcing you, but if you do not brush your teeth, what happens? The bacteria, they're starting to do their thing, and ding-a-dang-a-donga. At some point, very soon, you have unhealthy mouth situation, and like, woo, like recovery long-term, right? So the same is with our minds. If we don't clean it, so to speak, and I mean, like, being aware of what's going on, questioning the beliefs that we have, and choosing beliefs on purpose. If you don't do that, pretty soon our mindset becomes reactive to whatever our minds decide to focus on. And a small hint, it is automatically going to go to a negativity. It's the part of our brain that comes from centuries ago that always was looking for danger, and it still is always looking for danger. So it sees everything through a negativity lens. So that's why it's so important to take care of our mindsets. And of course, I'm not saying that a change of a mindset can happen overnight and with no help. I mean, something or someone is always going to be helpful. But when I started diving deeper into my self-development journey, it was initiated by a life coach. And coaching always helps you to be in a place of no judgment and perception. It's a perception of a different kind. It gives you this possibility to see, to put a different lens on, if you wish. Coaching lets you see maybe an aspect that you have been projecting so much, but that is so much necessary for you to see, to be able to move on, to become someone that you want to become. Coaching is letting you to look at your life right now and deciding where you want to go in the future. It lets you create a mindset to get to that future as well. And you know what? I can help you as well with that. How can I help? So I am a life coach. So I know how to help people. And I love doing that. I think, like, for me, going through this journey has been amazing. And I just want to share as much as I can with you. So we're gonna, like, if you're gonna work with me, we're gonna look at your situation right now. We're gonna discover where you wanna go and why are you not there yet. I will be there to show you your beautiful mind to you. And we're gonna be creating and crafting a mindset that you want to have. When you're gonna be coaching with me, when we're gonna have sessions together, you're going to be able to see where your time goes, and you're going to be able to create the days, weeks, months, years in a way that you're looking forward to enjoying them. Together, we'll discover all your belief systems about time, and we're going to challenge them. I'm going to build the supporting ones so that you can get to the destination where you want to go to. Are you ready to start the new chapter in your life? I like this photo. It's cool now. But yeah. Yes, I am. I definitely am. Do you want to discover your life, the life that you can create? Do you want to see where you could be investing your time in? Do you want to do it? Then this is the sign you've been looking for. It's time to schedule a consultation call with me. And there are 3 ways how you can do that. You can look me up on social media, on Facebook or Instagram, which is Coaching with Evita. That's me, Evita. Coaching with me, Coaching with Evita. Or you can send me an email to coachingwithevita@gmail.com. And then we're going to find a time where we can meet and discuss what we could, how we could work on together. But yes, I am now seeing that probably you're thinking, like, what is that consultation call? That sounds very strange. Okay, no worries. This is what happens on a call. Consultation call is a time that we allocate to each other. It's like the first date, so to speak. Or maybe not the date. It's the first time we see each other. Okay, it's the first time we meet. So it's 30 minutes where we meet in an online meeting space. The meetings take place via application called Zoom. It's going to be just you and I on, like, video, my face, your face, or maybe no faces, depending whether you want to put on the video or not. But what we're going to do is we're going to focus on you. It's going to be 30 minutes on you. And we're going to look at what you want to achieve, where you are right now, what you want to achieve. We're going to see how much you want it, because I am not saying that you can make any changes without putting in the work. You will need to be putting in the work, which means that you need to be committed. You need to be ready to be working on yourself. I have my commitment. I'm bringing it like 200 million%. But you need to bring yours. And if you're not committed, this is not going to work. Like, it cannot work if you are not ready to do the work. And then lastly, what we do, we just see if we are fit, because not everyone likes everyone, and that's okay. So it might be that we are just not fit for each other. But that's why we have the first date, that we can figure that one out. I want to finish this off by saying that time is what we want most, but what we use worst. That was said by William Penn. It's an observation that I think we should not let it be our future. And if you are ready not to make it your future, like, these are my how to contact me on Facebook or Instagram or email. And I want to thank you for watching this. It's amazing that you invested this time in yourself. And if you decide to invest more I will be humbled to be part of your journey if you invite me. Thank you so much for being here today, and I hope to see you all so soon. Bye.